Infinite ammo.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Ammo Syndicate European podcast, EU cast. Episode 6. We're all in here today with Inferno Dragon.
Yo.
Shadow Pyro.
What up, people?
Shadow 1990s.
Yo, what's up?
And Sonic, 'cause I thought there was going to be a fourth Shadow there.
No, it's just me, Sonic. Hello.
How y'all doing tonight?
It's 12 o'clock, actually. It's...
I don't know that yet.
You know, it's like minus 20 degrees here or something, so
You're
I'm
like...
comfortably inside.
So
Yeah,
you're living popsicle?
Yeah.
I'm actually good. It's I'm based in the UK, and it's starting to actually get darker later. So I'm happy about that. I cleaned my motorbike today, so that's a good point for me today. I was productive.
That's good. All right, so do you guys want to jump into the topics right now?
yeah, sure.
Yep.
All right, first one is going to be about Metal Gear Survive.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to put a personal opinion here. I don't mind the game. I've been playing it. I got it from a friend. He sent me a copy. It's not bad, but it could be a lot better. However, one of the things that bothers me is the microtransactions. $10 for offline save slots. If you want to buy, like, upgrade your base or emotes, that costs money. And it's kind of shameful. It really is. The fact that there's some emotes you could also only get for pre-ordering too, which is kind of dumb. And the fact that some of the bundles for the coins also. Oh, go on.
Sorry, I've never played Metal Gear Survival, and when I read something about this save slots, like, what is the game actually about, and why do you need offline save slots? Because that whole idea of paying for something offline is idiotic to me.
Well, I'll explain it really fast. So the game starts you off with one character. Like the first character is free, and that's you go through the campaign. That's the character you level up to the end and all that. And with this, if you want to restart, you either have to delete the original save and go through again, or pay to get another character slot.
Oh, so
Yeah.
like how on GTA Online you can have like up to 2 characters.
Yeah,
That's free, and like what? Not League of Legends, the other one, World of Warcraft. Like you can have more than one character, but again, you don't have to pay for those.
Yeah.
Well, that's an MMO, so not
Yeah.
exactly the best comparison. You're already paying for an MMO anyway.
The concept
Right.
makes sense, but the comparison isn't.
Okay.
Well, I actually compared it to something I play a lot, which has the same feature, which is Guild Wars 2. It's also an MMO, but it's free to play. But you have I think at the beginning you have 5 character slots, and you can buy additional ones. And I looked it up real quick how much you pay there for an additional character slot, and it's actually also $10 if calculated. There's a difference though. In Guild Wars, you can actually buy the in-game the currency for the character slots. You can earn that in-game, or rather, you can farm gold and then buy in-game currency. So
Right.
That makes sense. Okay.
When it comes...
it's weird.
Oh, sorry.
When it comes to things like this, like with Metal Gear Survive and Konami in general, my thing is game companies don't seem to like Konami and EA don't seem to understand that when you already have a bad reputation, doing stuff like this will only just make it worse. Because EA can kind of get away with it because
No, they can't.
normies they kind of for the most part.
I get
For the
what he's
most part,
saying.
they can.
No, they can't. Not anymore.
Well, not like I said, for the most part, but not anymore with Battlefront 2.
You have to think about it like though. FIFA Ultimate Team alone brings in almost $1 billion in revenue.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Normies will eat that shit up like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Normie.
Normies,
Yeah.
like I was getting ready to say, mostly a lot of the EA money that they get comes from normies who go, and kids. Because I've seen, for example, I worked at Target once, and I saw a kid who bought $100 worth of Xbox money, right? And it was just for fucking map packs. And I'm just like, You could buy freaking 5 copies of Cuphead, yet you decide to use it on fucking map packs. And I'm like,
or I mean, like hell, you could buy a brand new game and a whole bunch of stuff on sale with that. Yeah.
Get
and I'm like,
controllers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so this is where so I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is where their money comes from. And what else? I'm like, with something like Konami, I don't think Konami has that luxury that EA or like Activision would have, because, you know, they fucking fired Kojima and are under a lot of heat, and they will take literally any praise that they can get. If I think Metal Gear Survive is okay, they'll go, oh shit, retweet that shit or whatever. But
they like something that's
when it comes to like this kind of stuff. If I was running Konami, I'd say on, and it's just really fucking stupid.
I was expecting them to kind of do it like Mother Base coins and MGS5 proper. Like Mother Base coins were basically useless 90% of a game, and the 10% where you could use them, you already got enough from daily logins that you never had to pay for them.
Yeah.
I'm surprised if they went this far. Admittedly, it's not as bad as fucking EA's ever gone. I mean, well, let's be fair with, you know, EA. They go fucking nuts with microtransactions, but they can do it. They make, I think it was 30 or 40% of their revenue. Activision made 40% of their revenue from microtransactions last year. It's big for these companies, but this is to a point where it's going too far, I think.
Yeah, to the point where EA fucked up so hard that the goddamn governments are getting involved.
Oh yeah.
Good job, EA. Good job.
And
you fucked up everyone.
You have with Konami going here like, oh, here's $10. Pay me $10 for extra save slots, when you can have 3 separate save slots since The Legend of Zelda on the goddamn NES.
Yeah.
Free.
I will say this. This is at least a little bit better than loot box microtransactions, because you at least know what you're going to get out of this. That's one thing I'll give them. You at least know what you're paying boxes,
for.
So it doesn't have loot boxes.
Granted,
I haven't found.
The transaction shouldn't even be there in the first place. It's a goddamn save slot.
Yeah. I'm with you on that also. But well, I mean, there's also like, yeah, the emotes and shit that do, which I'm fine with, because you don't really use the emotes outside of a co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I if there's a way to do it, I haven't found it. But yeah, it's very suspicious, I think. And it's such a shame, because, again, I'm going to interject here. There is a good game in Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah.
It's just the issues that it does have, like this, taints the things. It's not a great game, but it's a good game. I've spent way more on worse. Daisy.
I've actually I played the beta with the Austin Eruption server, Broken Eruption, looking on YouTube and whatever. But I actually, like, when I played it alone, I had a horrible time. But when I found out what I was doing and I was playing with friends, I had a ton of fun. I'm gonna say more fun than I did with Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. But then again, I really don't like that game. But then I somehow enjoy playing Survive. So, you know.
How is it story wise?
Story wise, there's some intrigue going on. I'll say this: it's not a great story, but yeah, it structures everything to where you have different experiences going on. And if you have a chance, look up Lord of Dust.
Okay.
All I'm gonna say, just look up the first experience of that thing.
All I'll say is that if Konami releases Rumble Roses 3 and it's gonna be filled with like fucking swimsuit microtransactions, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Don't give them ideas.
Hang on. It can't be as bad as Dead or Alive 5. Like,
it's gonna be fucking Dead or Alive 5. You know it.
Yeah, last round. How much DLC does that fucking thing have?
$100 for swimsuit.
A lot of the DLC on Dead or Alive 5 is free, though.
Well, okay, all the paid DLC that's on here, because I'm looking at the Steam page, $1,289.79.
That is
for
crazy.
every single one of those packs. That's what happens when you keep releasing DLC for years. It's an unfortunate consequence.
On the Xbox version, because I
mean, with Core Fighters, it's just like, I'm sorry, I interrupted. It's like $5.
Yeah.
I think with like for core fighters, it's the free to play one. So they're like, hey, you want a new character, $5. If you want the full thing, pay us this much.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
also,
they
we
did the
should talk
same
about
thing as Killer Instinct.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not as bad. Like Killer Instinct's nowhere near as bad as this.
Yeah, Killer Instinct, like $60 will basically get you everything.
Everything. Yeah. And
Here,
if you're playing on Xbox One, you also get the original like arcade versions of 1 and 2. So
Yeah.
that's a bonus. Also, we should talk about Survive's ELUA really fast because there is some actually funny shit in here.
Yeah.
So engage in. All right. So this is just some terms you can't do or you'll get banned. Engage in an act that encourages or assists suicide or drug abuse. That's good. That's positive. Seek a relationship with another person or an act that Konami determines is made for the main purpose of causing a relationship, including relationships, acts, or socializing limited to within the consent. So love can't bloom on this battlefield.
I mean, with some things I'm okay. Like I can see why they put that in there because you know if you are a female who plays on like Xbox Live and PSN and shit, sometimes like your experience will be much different than someone with a than males because you're gonna either
use that fucking Xbox Live message. You're a female gamer. Tis an awesome thing to see. I'll be in the kitchen. Yeah.
You'll have people trolling, people legit trying to hit on you. Like your experience is definitely going to differ if you're female. So I can understand if they're coming from that, but if it is kind of silly how they worded it.
Oh yeah. Well, there's also like campaign for pre-election campaign or participate in politics, stuff like that.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
That's funny as shit.
Imagining like an old politician playing the game, trying to like spread propaganda amongst the youth.
well, I also have to think about it like this, right? This must have happened before somewhere.
Yes.
Like that boggles my fucking mind. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not the worst ELUA I've ever seen, but it's fucking funny as shit.
Who knows? Maybe there's different EULAs that actually have that line. It's just that
nobody's looked through that deep.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck. They just want to play the game.
Oh man.
Konami says socializing. How dare you?
Socializing?
No
For
friends.
fucking nerds. Get out of here.
You are all nerds who waste money on our game. You have no social lives.
Whoa.
Oh boy. All right, so we're gonna jump to the next topic here. Saints Row, Metro, Dead Island publisher, big major company, Koch Media, most known as Deep Silver for most people, was acquired by THQ Nordic, meaning we now have Volition under THQ again.
Yeah,
that's Jesus fuck. It's 2008.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I'm like, okay, so they got the franchises and now we got them back. Like, okay. But I think they did that because, like, part of me thinks they did that was mostly, it might be because of Agents of Mayhem, if anyone played it.
Oh,
Nope.
Oof, yeah.
That
was a garbage fire. Sorry.
Yeah, if you didn't play it, I feel really, like, if you didn't play it, it's fine. It's easily passable. But, like, I was so expecting, like, this is going to be a fun game, you know? Like, at least it'll be something different. But it was just Saints Row with Borderlands mechanics. And I was just like, wow, this game sucks.
Yeah, it was mind-boggling how bad it was.
Yeah.
I was actually almost a little bit impressed with how shit it ended up being. But yeah, now they have rights to Metro, Saints Row, Homefront. They also now own Crytek UK.
Homefront is a weird series for me. This is like, okay, you got the original Homefront, which was kind of a cult classic, and then you got Revolution, which I think was in development hell for like, what, 7 years?
About 6 or 7 years, yeah.
Yeah. And then like, okay, what are you going to do next? Homefront, The Reckoning?
Well, with Homefront, the problem is I see there's so much potential in both of those games, but they always fuck them up in some way. I think this is good news for everybody there. You know, Deep Silver's had some issues recently. Considering, you know, the best game they published recently was Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into later. But they also have the physical publishing rights for Shenmue 3. So
and
that's
number 9.
Yep. We don't speak about that game. They also have a Sacred series, which isn't very good, but hey, somebody likes them clearly.
And I think in their Europe branch publishes most of Atlus's and Sega's games.
Yeah, they publish all of the Shin Megami Tensei series.
But I think they broke off from. I think Atlus actually broke off from that and established a European branch.
No, they still have the rights for it. I think the rights don't expire for another 4 years.
I see.
But what do you guys think about that?
Good to see THQ coming back.
Here's hoping they don't make another tablet.
It's also good that they ensured that all upcoming releases will be released as planned. So especially because I'm looking forward to Metro Exodus. So it's gonna be on track, which is nice to see.
Yeah, last year they got their European branch. Yeah.
Oh. Oh shit, my bad.
I'm very happy with THQ. They were like a huge part of my youth back when I used to play wrestling games. So yeah, anything they do, I'm happy with. Generally speaking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's hoping we make no more tablets because that fucking killed THQ last time.
Yep.
Oh boy. All right. So the third one, Microsoft's floor plan. Yeah, from what I heard, I thought that was not the final floor plan, but I could be wrong with this. Somebody will correct it in the comments, I believe. But their floor plan for E3 2018 causes mild dismay within the Xbox community for being downscaled this year in size.
Well, hopefully, them spending less money on that, they spend more money on what's the word I'm looking for?
First party games.
Yeah.
That's the one. You guys are so good. Yes. Hopefully they
I'll
can
say
do
this.
that.
Don't they also have something like EA has, where it's like they have space at E3, but they also have their own event separate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of companies are doing recently. They're focusing on their own. Well, Blizzard, obviously.
Oh yeah, Blizzard. Every time there's a convention, they always have something separate where it's like, yeah, fuck you guys, we're gonna make our own thing.
Yeah.
Or they could just be, or Xbox can literally just be like, okay, hey guys, here's a exclusive gameplay reveal of Sea of Thieves.
Well, I mean, no, Sea of Thieves will already be out by then.
Or will it? They don't. You remember Crackdown 3 got delayed?
Well, let me take a look here.
Or is Crackdown 3 even coming out? Because I heard that got delayed to this year.
Nobody needs that game in their life, so hopefully.
Yeah, March 20th for Sea of Thieves. State of Decay 2 is coming out sometime around then, and then Crackdown has a date of 2018 also.
What's State of Decay 2?
State of Decay, I think, is like April. Well, they're rumored for April, but I don't know if it's quarter one. So.
I remember Crackdown 3 was supposed to come out like a month after Persona 5, and I was like, when that stuff got delayed, Xbox got really pissed.
I'll say this. I think Microsoft should focus more on the separate event. Because admittedly, E3 has been having a lot of issues over like past 4 years. There's the maps circulating are entirely accurate. We're excited about E3 2018 and be big way at LA Convention Center and beyond. More details to come. That's from Aaron Greenberg. Okay, so if this is the final map and they're just saying that to like kind of drum up, I think it's smart for them to focus more on their own thing. Same thing with EA. So they get people in there and they get people more focused on their games. They don't have to worry about people going to like a different booth like a minute later. It makes sense.
Sure.
I'll say this. They should focus more on the first party right now. And we're going to get to that in a little bit because there's a question coming up soon about it. But I think it's smart. More companies are starting to do it. It's at least it's not as bad as when Ouya did it. You remember when Ouya decided to camp out right in the parking lot?
Yeah, and then I think E3 was like, yeah, fuck you, get out.
Yeah, fucking everybody, like convention center was like, hey, you have to go, fuck off. So this isn't that, but I think it's, if it's just one booth, one section at the big conference, and then they have their own thing, I think it's not bad for them. Makes sense.
My thing with when it also comes to Xbox, I think the most biggest train wreck I've ever seen was PUBG. Was fucking
PUBG's
PUBG on
launch?
like PUBG. And, like I played it at a actually played it at a Microsoft store. Like it
Yeah.
was supposed to be like the build for PUBG, and it was on Xbox One X, right?
Yeah.
I played for 3 minutes and the game crashed.
Hang on. That's the PUBG experience on PC.
Like,
I just wanted to say, yeah, that's normal.
I'm like, wait, what the
guys.
fuck?
If you play a drinking game of PUBG where you take a shot every time the game crashes, your kidneys will be fucked in an hour.
PUBG. Did you mean garbage?
It's fun. It's just, God, they need to stabilize that.
Did
fucking
you
shit.
mean garbage?
I will say playing Halo 5 in 60 frames per second was fun, but then again, Halo 5 not the best Halo, so
But it's
Not
better
even
than
close.
It's better than 4 and Reach.
yeah.
No. It's
I-
not.
I like Reach.
I'm not a fan. But the thing I'll say about Reach is, man, it makes Destiny 1 look good in comparison.
That is not hard to do at all. I like the story in Reach, like the characters. It's definitely not, like multiplayer. It's not the best for me.
Well,
3 is what I grew up on.
You see, here's your problem though. Reach at least had effort put into it.
I'd say ODST is what Reach wanted to be, but better.
ODST was a goddamn DLC disc.
It was still good.
I remember when ODST was coming out, I saw commercials for it, and I'm like, wait a minute, didn't Halo 3 already come out? Is this like an expanded version? Should I just buy this?
It's
one
just
thing I'll say is, I'm really hoping this. We're getting off topic again, and I'm sorry. We'll get back on in a second. I'm really hoping this Master Chief Collection patch they're working on now makes everything good, because I really want to play through ODST again without the issues it
Still
has.
haven't stabilized that goddamn thing.
They abandoned it, and they're coming back to it. They're going to do public beta tests for the patches soon,
Oh my god.
which is what they needed to do before then. Fucking hell. All right, to the next topic here. Burnout Paradise Remastered has been officially announced for the PS4 and Xbox One. It'll be releasing on March 16th, 2018, and EA claims that this version will not have microtransactions.
I don't believe him.
We promise.
I don't believe you.
Don't trust them. No.
I feel like I'd believe them only if I absolutely 100% knew. Like, I saw the game, I owned it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
I have to actually have the game in my hand, look through every single bit of the game, and be like, yep, okay. No microtransactions.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to do something really sneaky that they just don't call it microtransactions, but it's going to be something.
Yeah.
Paradise is the open world one, right?
Yes.
yeah, the not so good one.
Which I'll say this: I like Paradise, but if this would have been Burnout 3 Takedown remastered,
Yeah.
I would have bought fucking
Yes.
40 copies. I would have actually gone fucking nuts.
So
Full
much music
soundtrack and everything.
that I
They
got
don't-
from
they
that game as well.
Yeah, like if they skip out even one fucking song, no buy. But
Yeah.
Hey, they did that for Jet Set Radio, and people still, and actually, technically, no, people kind of didn't buy it.
yeah, it was still good. But yeah,
See,
losing
with
out
Just
some
a
of those
Radio though,
songs.
the game is centered around the music though. If you kind of skip on that, then
Well,
it's kind of pointless.
I think they couldn't get that right
in a
for like
weird-
one song or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, if it's
Well,
just one song, bro.
In some weird way, though, I think the Burnout games are also styled around their music too. 'Cause
I think they have the same thing as Tony Hawk, because like the Tony Hawk games are obviously about skateboarding, but the music emphasizes what the skateboarding is. And I
Right.
think Burnout does that as well. Yeah.
It was weird hearing Damon Marley and fucking Tony in the Tony Hawk Project 8. I was like, wait, what the fuck? I listened to this song. Like my dad puts on this song. What the fuck?
I had that same feeling when I was I think it was NFL Street, and Last Train Home came on by Lost Prophets. I was like, this doesn't belong here, but I still played in it.
Oh yeah, the Burnout series is they're so good. but EA remastering this feels almost like they're trying to recreate magic. That all the talent from Criterion is gone.
Yeah.
Criterion, the last thing we've done recently was the space combat in Battlefront 2, which is admittedly one of the best things about that game, but it's wasted effort.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the people have left. They've gone to do their own thing. They've gone to. It's sad. It's such a shame. I don't know if this is a good idea for them.
I think the game that they should have done, as far as Burnout is concerned, Point of Impact is probably known as the best overall racer and crash racer game.
Yeah.
But I think Takeout 3 would have been my personal favorite, but Point of Impact probably would have been better than the first one, because there wasn't really much in the first one. Point of Impact pretty much had everything and then went from there.
I feel like Burnout 3 would be the best to remaster. I'm going to be honest here. I'm sick of pointless remasters for games.
Yeah.
Burnout 3 is one that could do with a new style, like new art. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Could do with new online again, and could do with just just a standard refresh without necessarily being what I consider a pointless remake. I think it would be
pointless remix. How do you feel about the HD collection of Devil May Cry being remade?
I feel like they should give people discounts for the digital version.
Speaking of that, y'all know that if you connect your Twitch to
if you're
Amazon Prime, you'll get
your Twitch Prime. You can get it now. Yeah, it's now or soon, I believe.
Like 2 days from now, I think.
Yeah. So if you have a PC that can run it, which here's hoping. DMC1's never been on PC, so if you have Twitch Prime, go connect that and do that really fast. It's worth it. I'm fine with that to a point, but I feel like if you bought it digitally on like Xbox One or Xbox 360 or PS3, you should get at least like a half off discount for most of these.
Yeah.
That's the thing that pisses me off the most. Like, I bought Shadow of the Colossus and Ico on PS3. Fucking Shadow of the Colossus on PS4 should at least be half off, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some games they did that with. I know if you bought COD Ghosts digitally on PS3 or 360, you got the next gen version for free, stuff like that. I'm rambling again, but I wish more companies would do stuff like that. But
actual viable remasters at a good price.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
I'm also kind of hoping next gen, both PS5 and Xbox One plus One will have full backwards compatibility, so I don't have to worry about this anymore.
Yeah.
That's the most annoying thing from this gen.
I somehow have the feeling that will never happen again. Backwards compatibility.
I'd say I'm pretty sure Microsoft's planning it, considering what they've done with this gen. But yeah, I remember somebody saying that PlayStation Now was a good excuse for not having backwards compatibility on the PS4.
Please, that shit's like fucking that shit was taken from. I'm pretty sure that technology was taken from fucking OnLive. That's some bullshit.
And it still runs like OnLive does.
Yeah.
And then we have are you ready to get a little bit of the next subject? We're going to talk about EA possibly losing the license to all Star Wars and UFC games.
Good.
Yeah,
fuck EA.
Yeah,
I was hoping with the Star. Actually, let's wait until they release the one from the guys who make Titanfall first, and then strip them.
All right, fair enough.
Because I was expecting Knights of the Old Republic level games. I was expecting something like that. What the fuck happened? Like, I thought Battlefront 1 was going to be a fluke. And then, no, it got worse.
It just hurt. Like, whilst I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, so I don't really care much for the games bar Force Unleashed and a couple of the other ones.
Yeah.
This does not bother me at all that they're losing stuff for Star Wars. I want, and that they were going to do the what, Star Wars 1313?
Yeah, 13. No, 1313 was LucasArts, I believe. Still,
Was that LucasArts that are doing that?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully,
and then that was
not
shit
having that
canned.
mean someone else can get it and then make that game, because that game actually looked like a nice shooter in the Star Wars franchise that could have been good and maybe possibly be canon.
Now, here's the monkey paw kind of thing. They lose the rights to it, but either okay, I'll give you a choice here. Would you rather have Ubisoft making fucking Star Wars games or Activision?
All right, let's see. If Ubisoft makes them, then you will have to climb like 17 towers to discover stuff.
No, I got it. Atlas makes a Star Wars video game. Literally, just have fucking. You have like Star Wars set in a high school. Yeah, it's in high school.
High school in Star Wars.
It would start as a high school slice of life simulator, and then it would eventually go off with like 7 teenagers fighting against some sort of space god monster from the seventh depths of oblivion or something.
Yeah, you know.
All right. Naughty Dog, they'd be good.
Yeah, sort of.
Naughty Dog's been bad ever since Uncharted 1. What you guys talking about?
I liked Uncharted 2, but I'm gonna go with him. Yeah, everything else I've not been a fan of personally. I see random typing and
What?
Yeah.
No, from all the way from, except for Naughty Dog's very first game, which I can't even remember the name of, which was terrible. Crash Bandicoot's been amazing. I loved Uncharted 2 and 3.
Here's my biggest problem with Naughty Dog. I'm going to say this as nice as possible. I don't really think the Uncharted games are that good, except for 2. 2 is fucking great.
Okay.
But, like, 4 is the best out of the other 3, just out of sheer quality of the look and everything. The rest of them kind of...
And the grappling hook.
And the grappling hook. But most of the story of them bore me to tears, and... The Last of Us was good, but I remember The Road, the book and the movie, so... Yeah,
I do not mock a good movie like that, damn it. You will love the movie. You will embrace the movie.
The Last of Us is a good movie.
It is a good movie.
I'm actually intrigued by the film adaptation. That seems like that could be cool. Yeah. Which it seems pointless, but...
I mean, considering the game is basically a movie.
We literally just saw the movie.
You can watch all the cutscenes in a film order on YouTube.
You know, with Last of Us, I am kind of happy. Like, originally it was going to be Jack 4, but then they're like, you know, are we doing this just because...
Did you see the art they made for that?
It looked cool, but like I do agree
with
with them like going ahead with Last of Us because they wanted to tell a different story rather than just shoehorning Jack in it. Which you know what, like if they want to do that, it's like I don't like it. I don't have to like it, but they went off with it and they created their own successful franchise. Which I'm like, you know what, y'all did that, which I'm okay with. So yeah.
I don't know the art for Jack 4, the ones that I've seen, which I'm gonna link in our Discord chat. I can't say that I like the look of it. It's uncanny valley is all hell, but I'm glad they didn't go through with this. And the thing I'll give Last of Us is it was what the PS3 really, really needed at that time.
Yep.
The PS3, okay. The PS3 had a lot of games that were like, this is good, but there was something about it that, like, outside of the Uncharted games, all of them have this kind of like plastic look, I think.
Yeah.
Killzone 2 wasn't bad. Killzone 3, yeah, the single player wasn't really good, but the multiplayer was fucking great.
They didn't go with the. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. But the Resistance games were good too, actually.
They didn't go Sega didn't localize the Yakuza games at the time, so basically everyone else was fucked out of luck with that.
And then from what I heard, wasn't it Sony that like kind of took over and said, "Hey, we'll fund this if you want."
They did it for 5, but for everything else, like with 0, Kiwami, and 6, that's been a joint effort between Sega and Atlas.
Well, what about? Does nobody talk about Dead Souls anymore?
That was Sega. That was the last game they did before 5.
Okay, because I didn't hate that one actually. I kind of liked it. It was weird, but I kind of liked it. Everybody want to get into the next topic now?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll be honest here. I'm gonna admit I'm a subscriber to this. Xbox Game Pass will feature day one exclusives on the service for $9.99. So the way Game Pass work. What's up?
What exclusives? It's Xbox.
Well, it's also like Windows 10 store supported. So yeah. Okay. I think the way Game Pass works is they're not going to be on there forever. So this makes sense for Microsoft to kind of like, hey, get people in, get people kind of enticed with the game, and then like once it's starting to go off, people end up buying it if they like it, not buying it if they don't want to. It kind of makes sense as a, hey, we want people to eventually play more of these games over time kind of thing. I don't think it's the worst idea they could have had.
These kinds of things they're optional. If you do want these day one exclusives, cool. It's something that's there for people to buy if they want. If that company's going to make more money, and ideally they put that towards more games, whether it be third or first party, cool. But I can't hate it because I have the option not to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about Game Pass is it is like 100% optional. It isn't like a service that's required to play these games, which I think is smart.
All right, yeah, that sounds absolutely fine to me.
It's in a weird way. I do see a lot of companies going towards the Game Pass kind of model because it makes sense to one, having 100 games that, hey, if you don't like something, it might not be there next month, and if you like something, hey, you get a discount for it if you want to buy it later. That's, I think, smart. And plus, I mean, shit, it's gotten me to play Gears 4 more, so, hey.
How is that game? Because I refuse to play it.
I like it. Ren also plays it every once in a while, I think. It's good. It's way better than Judgment. Well, that's not hard.
Not hard.
Yeah. It's how do I word this? It's similar to Halo 5 for Halo, where it's like you have Halo 4, which is like the bad one, but then you have Halo 5, which has a lot of great ideas. It's just there's some execution there that like it could have been a little bit better in some aspects, but I had fun with it.
Fair enough. I hear that. I might look at it on YouTube, maybe.
Yeah. I look into the gameplay. The story is kind of the weakest part in my mind, but that's only because it just... the Gears story is always a little weird. I love it, but it's also like not really great. But I think Game Pass doing this is smart for Microsoft because not everybody's buying a lot of games as how do I word this? Like not everybody's buying certain games at launch anymore. So some games flourish later on down the line. So it's better to get people in at the beginning with this kind of thing, and then if they like it, they can keep playing it. I'm explaining that right?
Yeah, I get you.
All right, everybody ready to go on to the next one here?
Sure.
All right, we're going to talk about recent releases. So there was Dragon Ball FighterZ, Fighter Z, depending on how some people want to say it, because I've heard it both ways. That should be Fighter Z. Shadow of Colossus remake, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Monster Hunter World, Metal Gear Survive. These have all been released in a very span of about a month and a half. Have you guys played any of these titles? And if so, what do you guys think of it? I've played Kingdom Come Deliverance. I fucking love it. Monster Hunter World's amazing. Metal Gear Survive I mentioned earlier, but I think it's pretty good. It's maybe needs a drop in price. I've had fun with all of them. I haven't. Well, Kingdom Come Deliverance has some bugs on Xbox that need to be fixed, but other than that, pretty good. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I really want to play it because I'm really a big fan of these medieval kind of games, especially if they're very accurate. And I'm still looking to bridge the gap till Mountain Blade Bannerlord is released. So Kingdom Come Deliverance sounds like a perfect fit for that. I love the outrage around it. I love it. I just love it's like a dumpster fire, and I love to watch it.
Well, okay. Can I just can we bring that up for a second? What the hell is people's deal with Kingdom Come Deliverance? Like, it's a freaking medieval game. What is the big deal?
So one, this originally started back when the Kickstarter was announced, but because it focused more on historical accuracy, which Bohemia around that time didn't have a lot of people who weren't white. A very small amount, in fact. So there were people getting upset about that. They were upset that the lead, Daniel Vavra, which I hope I pronounced his name right, but I probably fucked that up. He supported Gamergate when it was like going on. So there was also some people that were like the usual people who were still upset about that. And just the fact that they didn't really budge on any of that also didn't help any matter. So that's why you see fucking Resetera. Like Resetera was so pissed about it, then they even ban people who bring up like, you know, the fact the game is good.
Yeah, it's like things like that. Like I've honestly haven't given a shit about for like a year, like 2 years, because when Gamergate was going on, I was young and impressionable, and I was like, yeah, fuck those other guys. But I'm like, you know, there's gonna be people in the industry that'll agree, disagree with you, and all that kind of shit. And I'm just like, you know, at the end of the day, if I just decided for myself, at the end of the day, I don't care who the developer is. If it's a good game, it's a good game. If it's a bad game, bad game. Both should be, each one of these games should be treated equal. All games should be treated equally. So, yeah.
Well, there are some people in the industry. We're getting into this topic really fast. There are some people in the industry who really wish that like that was still around and they were sort of as popular as they were back then. I'm not going to name any names about certain people, but a couple of devs wish they were as popular as they were back then, and a couple of people that were journalists really wish they were popular as they were back then. It's always cute to see, you know. Well, one of them is trying to run for political office.
Yeah.
Woo. But yeah.
Good luck.
I think, you know, Kingdom Come Deliverance stands out on its own as a game. And, you know, outside of any political beliefs of anything, I always try to separate, you know, art from the artists. But it holds up as a good game and a really great experience.
Right. These, I have actually 2 games I want to talk about Survive, but then again, I only played the beta, so I had nothing about the full game. But the other 2 games I got were Dragon Ball FighterZ and Monster Hunter World. I want to talk about Fighters for a bit. Is that all right?
I can dig it.
Yeah.
All right. So when it comes to Fighters, I was really excited for it, but I decided to get Monster Hunter World first thing, and then eventually I got Fighters for free. And when I played Fighters, like I've been playing Fighters for the past few days, and I'm gonna not only are for me the servers are fucking garbage, but also like this. I'm gonna be real with you guys. The story mode is also fucking garbage.
Story's weak.
And not only weak, but it's just kind of like, it's fucking terrible. Like, writing-wise, you can make that argument, but it's kind of charming, but like, everything else about the story mode is fucking stupid. Like, for example...
Lazy. It's really freaking lazy.
It's like, oh hey, like you gotta fight these fucking clones. Like, you have to get in like fucking 100 battles each for every fucking story arc, and you have to, and you fight the clones and shit, and like you level up, but your levels barely even mean anything because you can just mash your way to victory, which is just so fucking stupid. And like you have to do all 3 arcs just to unlock one character, which I did, and I feel it kind of wasn't worth it. But in regards to the writing, I hate how like Android 21 was shown in like each of the arcs, because the first 2 arcs have her as a full-on villain, right?
Yeah.
And then like her own arc has her like, oh, actually, I just got separated from my my good side and my bad side. And I'm like, wait, how the fuck does all this even connect? It's just like, I'm pretty sure it's like, which one's the canon arc and shit? And I'm just like, guys, what the fuck are we doing here?
You can tell it was Toriyama who did not write this story.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to the story for Dragon Ball, because like I've gone like past the second fight in the first arc, because I was like, I love the story from what I've read and seen and everything, for the fact that it's Easter eggy as hell for people who know the anime and manga. But I'm with you on everything else that I've played so far and what I've read and so on. It's absolute trash beyond once you get by the Easter eggs, it's trash. But the gameplay for that game, I just love it. This is another thing. Once you get past, like in this game, you can do magic button series basically, or just one button combos, which is like for the people who are just jumping in. I want to play a fighting game and just look really good. You keep tapping X, you do an auto combo. You keep tapping Y, you do an auto combo. B, I play on an Xbox One, so corresponding buttons for PS4.
So circles,
yeah, square, triangle, circle.
Like when it comes to like the auto combos and shit like that, I really don't agree with it because I felt like it kind of dumbed the game down like a lot. Because like I get it, like if auto combos are there, I feel like if you're gonna do a fighting game with auto combos, you should have only one auto combo. If you do like more, like I feel like anything more than one just kind of dilutes the game into like just everyone mashes like fucking Gohan can just mash to win. Adult Gohan. When it comes to like most of the like all the motions in the game is just a fireball motion, and I'm like, we couldn't have dragon motion or like half circles or anything. It's just kind of like I get why they did it, but I felt like they could have made it a bit more complex. Like, remove auto combos and put a bit more like a tiny bit more complex motions, like Shoryuken motion or whatever.
I don't know when it comes to like you've got Marvel, who has the one auto combo for just continuously tapping the light attack button. Yeah, but you can turn that off. I would have liked the option to be able to turn off the auto combos in Dragon Ball, because it's useful when you know how to use it and not like basically scrub play it, which there's nothing wrong with the scrub play. I mean, like, hey, you got to start somewhere. But just the option to remove it would have made me like happy. Like, okay, you've got these in here for people who are jumping in, cool. Or even at high level play, you can still use it and like use it at a high level for the game. But that one little option to remove it would have just been like, cool, it's a nice thing to have in the game, but don't make it the be all and end all of the game, because exactly what you said, you can just mash buttons and you can win.
Yeah, that's just been I do like the game. Like the game itself can get really fun when since the servers are garbage and my dorm is garbage, I've been playing offline, but I've been playing on like high level CPUs, and I can get into some really like max level CPUs, and it can get all pretty hectic and a lot of fun, I feel. But yeah, that's how I played fighting games in the past, and like now that my fucking dorm is garbage and my servers are garbage and the servers are garbage, I'm just like, that's how I'm playing it now. So
I hear that.
All right, everybody good for jumping to the next topic?
I mean, I could talk about World, but I don't know if anyone else played it that can help me out with that. So
I haven't played it, but I want to.
It's a good game. That's all I'll say.
Okay. All right. So we're going to jump into talking about God of War 2018.
Wait. Oh, yeah. I keep thinking it's 2017. Fuck.
Oh, boy. God of War.
Yeah. God of Jesus. This is making Ascension look good. War. Yeah. So it's removing a lot of classic God of War, essentially mechanics, including no jump button, which is fucking absurd.
How do you have an action RPG without a jump button? I get annoyed in basic games when you're just running around and you can't jump.
Cinematic bullshit. It's cinematic bullshit.
Wait a minute. I just thought of something. We have in an era where we have a God of War game where Kratos has no jump button, yet we just last year got a Zelda game where Link has a jump button. What era are we living in?
Well, this is the DMC Devil May Cry, except somehow I think even worse. The God
Yeah,
of War series.
like with
Oh, you're going too far then, man.
I,
No. You
I
do
feel,
not.
I feel like I don't feel like he's going
was
far
actually
enough.
a good game.
Yeah, this is Road to Hell, like Ride to like this is Road to Hell Retribution, the fucking biker game.
Dude, you are
Yes.
dude. Okay.
I will compare these games really fast because this is
Well,
okay.
Ride to Hell, that's an unfinished load of garbage.
That's a completely separate game.
okay. So
Yeah.
there are no sex mini games at all, which is like a fucking staple for even the worst game of the series before this. Ascension had a sex mini game. There's less gore. There's a lot more off-screen decapitations and shit like that. Kratos can't swim, which is fucking dumb.
Okay, that
Are
is
we
kind
playing
of.
Assassin's Creed, the first one? Okay, is that what we're doing?
Listen
It's,
here.
it's just this imagination. It's this guy who kills gods for a living, but water defeats him. All right, sure.
Oh, no. Water.
Are they trying to
According
say
to
in
Cory
Nordic mythology you
Barlog-
couldn't swim?
Apparently, Cory Barlog says that players will spend 25 to 30% of their time on a boat.
What the fuck is this, Berserk?
Unless it's like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, you just don't need it.
Like, honest to God, after David Jaffe, this series has went to shit.
Yeah, like when it came to God of War, it was basically Devil May Cry but less complex and and basically you can just go to fucking town.
Yeah.
With the newer God of War games, I feel like people are really overhyping it because it's like, Kratos is a dad now. The stories for like people like this is how we care. We just like this is gonna be a story where I actually care. And I'm like, God, like Kratos is like he destroys the fucking world in God of War 3, like kills literally everyone. And yet they're portraying him as this like, dad like father figure, and I'm like, Kratos, he's not a good guy at all. Like he isn't just a guy who just I killed some people in a war. No, he fucking killed everyone.
Oh, he's an asshole.
Okay, I have a theory about this, right? I think Sony is trying to strike gold again with the father-blank relationship that worked really, really well with, Last of Us. I think this is so corporately mandated that if you cut this in half, you can see the rings of all the developers that are working on it and all the studio hands that are just like holding everything together.
Well, then just push Yakuza 6. That's what they should do. That's a better story about a father taking care of a child.
Well, this is okay. Every company does this every once in a while. It's where they like the studio heads force something in, and I feel like this is the most obvious attempt at trying to force like a relatable story in a game I've seen in years.
Especially for the type of game that I think I've only ever played the first one back when I borrowed my friend's PS3. I was like, yeah, this is a good game. And then I played Dante's Inferno, and I was like, I much prefer Dante's Inferno over God of War.
I'd say God of War 1 has a lot of issues. God of War 2 is where they really like refined everything,
Okay.
I think.
Well, of course, first game's gonna have issues. It's the first
Yeah.
game.
Well, I mean, there's
but
some
it's
games
also
where the first
pretty
game like
amazing.
knocks it out of the park. But yeah. I don't know. This is wearing somebody's skin and pretending you're something, but in
I
video game
wonder
form.
if
How do you
what are
feel about
the age
Nordic stylings, though?
what are the age restrictions for all the God of War games? Is it like
I don't
18
think-
plus all the time?
They should be. Yeah.
Well,
Because I
considering the
wonder if they
content.
try to bump down the age rating to get like to a 16 or something.
I hate it when developers try to do that.
Yeah, I hate
Why?
it too. But I just wonder if that is the goal here,
This is still
especially
rating,
with the sex
still rating
mini.
pending. So
I think when a game's already got an age rating like God of War has, there's no point in trying to lower it from an 18 to a 16.
Yeah, it's
whatever.
weird that
Yeah.
late in the series. It's very weird, but that's what it looks like to me.
What was it? Batman Arkham series went from whatever it was to being a teen-rated, M-rated game. It went up in the age rating.
Oh yeah, it did.
Which is also weird, but okay.
I think
Yeah, but
Arkham Knight
I'm
was
okay
rated
with
M,
that.
right?
Sorry?
Arkham Knight was rated M, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Arkham Knight. Like all the previous ones were like just whatever age rating they were, and then it became an M rating. It's like, okay, you want to tell a story that suits the M rating. It's not like trying to force something. Whereas if you've already got the 18, especially for the God of War game, and then it gets dropped down, why are you dropping it down? Like you can tell any story you want with any amount of gore or whatever that you want. What's the reason behind dropping it down other than trying to appeal to more people? Which you don't need to, considering most gamers, at least on consoles and PC, are what, from the ages of 18 up until what, 45? Most.
I'd say about 15 to 45, roughly.
Yeah.
Like also when it comes to like games going up in age ratings, it feels like that it's basically like it's like the devs are growing up along with the players, so like it can relate more to it. Like your example with the Arkham games, most people who started with Arkham Asylum were like 10 or fucking 12 or whatever, and now when they get to Arkham Knight, which was like 5 to 7 years later, they're in that respective age where they would be able to understand that kind of stuff. Same thing with like Naughty Dog's games, you know, how they went from Crash Bandicoot to Jak 2 to like Uncharted and then to Last of Us, that kind of thing.
My biggest problem with, all right, so I'm fine when a series or a company like increases like their kind of game making, they even make older, more mature games when they grow as a company. I'm fine with that, but it feels like regressing with this game. It's like Kratos not being able to swim, no sex mini games, gore is basically a fucking like pile of blood essentially.
We're getting the Australian version of the game, basically.
Yeah, we're getting. You're fucking right. We're getting the Australian version.
Oh God!
I wouldn't be surprised if they pull a fucking South Park Stick of Troop and put a koala there.
I was about to say, it's like, what's next? A koala eating a leaf in freaking Wisconsin or something?
And crying, yeah. Fuck.
How do you feel about the Nordic mythology being used?
I'd be fine with that if this was still the same. Like, if you had told me 3 was going to do Nordic mythology, and it was like after 1 and 2, I'd been like, fuck yes, this is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
After 3 and the PSP games and Ascension and seeing what this game is, I would honestly rather a full-on reboot of the series at this fucking point.
Fair enough.
True.
This
ain't God of War. This is God of War.
This is
Dad of War.
They should have just made a new fucking series instead of just slapping God of War on this.
Yeah.
They don't even have the same
New
fucking
IP.
voice actor as Kratos usually has. It's who's
It's a black guy with like steroid muscles. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything shit about him because he looks like he can beat me up.
Find this podcast and then find you.
Dude, okay, Christopher Judge, this guy on his fucking Wikipedia profile page has a photo of him with a fucking Bazinga shirt. I could beat his ass. Fucking Big Bang Theory.
Hey, I have a Bazinga shirt and they're cool.
I'm a friend of yours, so I'm not going to say too much fast on that. But the one thing I like
when Big Bang was good, though. It was a present.
Yeah, fair enough. But the thing is, like, the only thing I remember the guy who voiced Kratos from before was he was in Final Destination 2. That's the only thing I remember him from otherwise. But I liked him. Even in Ghost and Chains, like, and Ascension, he was the best part of the games. I don't know, just TC Carson, thank you. Just I don't know. This is in retrospect making God of War Ascension look good. Remember they added multiplayer to God of War?
Jesus. I never played Ascension, so I don't know.
Oh, you dodged a bullet. I guess I'm gonna say one last word on this topic. Can't wait to see it sell less than Labo.
Dad of War.
Which actually, now I realize I skipped that question on accident.
Yes.
So we're bringing it up here. The segue in the Nintendo Labo, which is a set of enthusiast quality cardboard accessories from Nintendo, is launching on April 20th, the same day, ironically, as God of War. How do you feel about Nintendo selling cardboard for $70 or $80? I'm gonna I'm gonna interject here. The quality of the cardboard is actually not bad. If you've dealt with Craftwork at all, it's not bad quality. I think the prices should be a little lower, but I think Nintendo's at least trying to do something different. So I'm kind of intrigued. But who knows where the hell this is going to go to? So
it comes with a game, doesn't it? Like
both.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to ask. Is it just a cardboard? Because
it comes with a game like that. Makes use of the cardboard that comes with it.
All right.
The big one, the robot kit. That one includes a fight, like a boxing fighting game with a robot. And then I think it's like the other one's like a home kit. Let me look here. That one comes with like a whole bunch of like you build the cardboard, and the cardboard's like for one game, and then you like switch to another game. I have a variety kit, which is the $70 one. It's like there's a fishing game, there's a piano game. You can do like little RC car things with Joy-Cons. The robot kit has like a giant robot thing.
Like a twofold game.
Yeah.
So you've got like gaming wise, I hate it because I hate having to buy peripherals for the most part. Yeah. But I think if you're a younger kid, which I think this may be aimed at,
it's very, very clearly aimed towards like kids.
Yeah, kids, young family members, or just like parents who want to share something with their kids like this.
Yeah, I was about to also say like kids and like, hey, parents who might join in with their kids should their kids say so. Like,
I mean,
want them to.
I think like little Joy-Con piano stuff like that. That's neat. A lot of the stuff is. This is like a good family friendly thing, and I honestly at the price, knowing that it's mostly the game cost, and then just like cardboard is like $10 for the variety kit and about $20 for the robot one. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was wondering, how long will it be until these blueprints of these cardboard things land somewhere online, and people just basically gonna buy the games themselves and then just do it themselves, the cardboard thing, or maybe even construct something themselves, something better, and then share that online. That could be interesting, actually.
I think that's it's neat to see, and also this provides them an out for building different. The best comparison I made is that robot kit that I could see for being something like Steel Battalion, like where you're actually the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I like the concept. I don't know if I'm going to buy it unless there's like a price drop, but I respect Nintendo for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of thing I don't see either Sony or Microsoft doing. But I can totally see Nintendo doing that.
I can see a lot of younger kids like opening up the box and just being all excited over it. That's pretty much the more important thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, the only thing that I see is that the fact that it's aimed at kids, it's a bit too high for the price is a bit too high, I think. But
no, parents will buy it.
Well, that's the thing, though.
Yeah, that's probably the thing. Yeah,
well, that's with every kid's toy, though. Parents buy it while kids are like, oh.
Yeah, like you see, like I was surprised, I was shocked. I was actually, I worked in retail for the summer. A lot of kids, like a lot of parents would buy the toys for for like they'd be up close to like
your second little bastard. What have you?
Your second little bastard. They'd be it'll be like the big sets for like $50, $40. And I was thinking like younger. I thought like they were like 20 or 30, but they was like I was saying 50, 40, 60, like especially like games. Like I remember there was like one, like I only remember one family that said, "Hey, both if you guys want this game, you use your fucking allowance," and they did, and they got like Mario Kart, and I was like, that was a good guess to help, but like
I was just imagining if I was a parent, would I buy that? And then I'm thinking, no, wait, I would spend these $90 on like games on like Steam sale and buy the kid like 5 games instead. I don't know, but it's hard to say. Yeah.
I also, it does impressively use the technology that's already in the Joy-Cons. So, like the IR camera, which had literally no use other than a sandwich eating minigame and 1-2 switch, is used to like read things and like guess motion and all that.
1-2 switch is garbage.
Well, 1-2 switch should have definitely been a pack-in game.
Yeah.
It's like Wii Sports. Nobody's gonna buy it other than like to play it a few times with friends.
I don't even own one
Think
to
of it.
Switch. In terms of actual good multiplayer games, I have already covered with Mario Kart.
Well, hang on. Fast RMX is pretty good, but you know, I think it does show that Nintendo's willing to actually try something different with the Switch. I was just expecting it to just, you know, be the game console, but it's nice to see them doing other things that, you know, it doesn't affect me, but it also, like, it's good to see. It's good to see the shit.
Sure.
All right, so now to the final of the main topics, because this time I'm not going to skip this one on accident.
Oh boy, here we go.
United
No.
States President Donald Trump raises the issue of video game and movie violence, suggests a ratings board needed.
We have a rating board.
I just wanted to ask that. How is it at the moment? Do you know?
We have been through
anything?
this song and dance so many goddamn times in like the
I
past
can-
10 years. People,
No, not even
Oh,
10 years.
Yeah.
It was more like 20 years, actually, because, you know,
I'll make the
it's
case.
not 2010. It's fucking 2018.
I don't care. This has just been
Let's say
going
I'll-
on for too long, man.
I'll make the case for a standardized rating system because, all right, so there's the film ratings board, the MPAA, and they have the standard essentially, which is G, PG, PG-13, R, and X. I believe is all the ones. So there's 5 there. There's 5 ratings, and then for
there
gaming,
15?
which is what's that?
There's a 15, a 16 plus or something like that as well.
Ours is PG-13.
Well, that's
It's
easy
weird.
to
We
know.
cover both of those standards. It's
Yeah.
fucking dumb. Then you have, so there's more for VSRB. There's technically there's like, let me look here. Hang on, sorry.
We got EC, E, E10, T, M,
Well,
and AO.
there's early childhood, which nobody uses, but it's still a thing. Everyone plus.
I've only seen one early childhood game, and that was like in a fucking Marshalls, and it was a fucking Dora the Explorer's game.
Doesn't surprise me. Continue.
But yeah, there's everyone 10 plus. There's teen, which technically is weird because you also have everyone 10 plus. Makes no sense. You have mature, which is 17 plus, and then you have adults only. So there is
Adults only is such a useless rating because no game can technically be on a
Nobody.
store shelf with an adults only rating.
Yes,
Yeah.
but they're also now with the how do I word that? The availability of digital, that's starting to become more of a thing, and the most recent game I believe was Hatred. that
Yeah,
had
it
an
was
AO
Hatred.
rating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then everything else after everything else in AO is just. I think there's like 21 AO rated games, and all that is like sex games or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember San Andreas had initially got an AO rating, and they had to tone it down just so that way they could actually sell it on a shelf.
Yeah.
Okay, so list of AO rated games. Let's see what the most recent one is out of release date. Eden plus Mosaic, which is a nudie game, and then there was Hatred, and then Manhunt 2, the uncut PC version. Playboy the Mansion, Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy, which they had to edit it, and then there was a remaster, which the remastered version was supposed to be AO, but it was given a mature rating.
And it restored that cutout thing from what I remember hearing.
Yeah, and then
Wait, wasn't that David Cage, by the way?
that was David Cage. Yes, it was his only good game.
The David Cage.
His only good game, and I will consider that one a game. I'm not going to say anything about the other ones.
Is the art.
Yes. Then San Andreas is the most popular one. And then the most popular one before then was Thrill Kill, which was canceled, but it was still an AO rated game.
Maybe that's
What
the
about
reason
that
why it was
4-player
cancelled.
fighting game?
Oh yeah, Lula,
hold on.
Lula 3D. That's a porn game. I remember.
Thrill Kill was
What the
canceled because the game EA had some objections after buying Virgin Interactive. That's why that one was shit canned.
God damn it, EA.
Yep,
Ruining another game.
I can understand.
It's all
I
like sex
really-
games. It's literally
Yeah.
all sex games.
I feel like what Trump was trying to do was probably say he wanted a standardized system. If he's going standardized, I can kind of understand that, where, film and, games, and even you could say television to be under one standard, which
Yeah,
could improve things, but also it'd be a little tricky.
like you got to remember this. when little Timmy asks his mommy to buy the video game, is the mommy actually paying attention to the ratings board?
Well,
No parent actually looks at the rating. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'd say with films they look at the rating more than they do for games. This is coming from somebody who's
It's
worked
right there. It's on
at movie
it's,
theaters before.
it's literally like it's funny because like they keep complaining about this shit, yet it's right there on the fucking box. Like they have the rating like right there, like
In fact,
ETM, and then you look on the back, it says this is why the game is rated this way. It has this, and this.
in fact, it's parents complaining why the ESRB even exists in the first place.
Yeah.
And yet they don't use the one thing that was the result of them doing so. It's like the biggest ironic thing ever.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, people also have this fear, like, one, little Timmy's not going to be, buying copies of Rape Lay or something.
Not even Japanese people can buy that game, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
I'm jumping a little dark, but it's to prove my point.
A little.
Like,
Wait, what is that game?
Dude.
The name's in the title. Name's in the title.
No.
Don't go there.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere past. But like, little Timmy's not gonna be buying that game. Most of the time, parents don't understand. They think every game is like that, but
Nope.
there's some that like if it's anything above T, they're like, oh no, he's going to see the first time he's seen sexual images or something. You're not going to get that 90% of the games, but I could understand if Trump was trying to say like maybe a standardized rating system where like it's all just one banner, but I feel like he needs to worry about this less.
Yeah, since I live in Switzerland, I get a lot of news from Germany as well. And for a fact, I can tell you every time in Germany when there is a mass shooting or something like that, without skipping a beat, like 1 or 2 days later, one of the politicians, it doesn't matter who it is, it's always there is one guy at least who's going to try and ban some video game or some movie or altogether. And it without exception, it always leads to that like news segment on TV where they talk about the horrors of Counter-Strike and then show the completely wrong game in the background. It's always it's such a good thing.
They're showing Halo 1.
Yeah, something like that. It's hilarious. Now, for me, that sounds like a typical. Let's look for a scapegoat, because actually looking at what these shootings are caused by is actually very hard to look into. So let's get an easy scapegoat. So that's what it sounds for me.
So let's beat the already dead horse that has been beaten so hard to death that it's just a pile of ash and dust.
This isn't beating the dead horse. This is beating where the dead horse used to be, and you're just kind of hoping that it'll be there.
The horse has already been buried.
Yeah.
My legit problem that I always have with this argument is, how long have video games been around? Call it 50 years, give or take, when we started gaming in what were really video games? How long have wars and weapons and everything been around?
People have been killing each other since the beginning of time.
So,
Indeed.
What video game were people playing back in the day? What song were they listening to when they try and play music? What movies were they watching, and so on? All of these things have been around before the media that they're talking about. And the hypocrisy that people have when it comes to video games, like, oh, video games are for children, blah, 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 yet they're not respected in it or anything like, or for the most part, they're not respected the same way cinema and books are, but they're good enough to be blamed for a mass shooting.
Yeah. I'll say this. I'd be remiss to say that, like, media doesn't have influences on people, but those people that, like, they get influenced by, like, fucking... the guy got influenced by Taxi Driver and wanted to shoot, John Hinckley Jr., the guy who wanted to shoot fucking Ronald Reagan to impress Jodie Foster. Those people have problems deep down. Like, everything influences everybody.
Yeah. That's actually interesting. Because of that question, I was looking up in the afternoon today some statistics on gun violence and stuff for different countries, and I didn't find any correlation between gaming regulation on games and the gun violence rate. I mean, Switzerland has almost the same rates of gun violence as Australia, And in Australia, they ban like every other video game or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't get it. In Switzerland, I pretty much can get every game I want.
The biggest
I don't
problem
understand.
biggest problem with trying to ban like the people who want. Okay, so I'm gonna say it's like this: people who want guns are going to get them. The people who want to kill somebody are going to kill somebody. The problem is, it's not games. It's not, in my mind, it's not guns. It's focusing on people. You know, somebody who wants to kill somebody who wants to do something like that, they will do it no matter if guns are banned, if bombs are banned, if knives are banned, if even fucking breathing is banned. They will find a way to kill.
Oh, they're gonna ban someone's breathing, definitely.
Well, you gotta buy an air canister.
Yeah, like even when it comes to like games, like if you ban a game, people like if it was released physically, people will see those as collector's items, or they can pirate the games.
Find like because there was originally uncut copies of Manhunt 2 sold on PS2, and then they had to pull those really fast. And then, so if somebody wants to get something, they will find a way to get it without you can ban guns and all that, but it's not going to work in the long term in my eyes.
I mean, fucking the Guy game, which was a game that was fucking terrible, had underage girls in bikinis. An underage girl in bikinis. I found that at a fucking pawn shop. I didn't get it. It was like 50 cents, and I was like, no, fuck that.
Funny thing is, didn't one of the bitches lie about her age in that fucking game?
And that's why the game has been pulled. Like it was apparently like 16 or 15, I think it was.
And the bitch lied about her age. Well, looks like there's two wrongs not making rights.
Then again, it's a shitty game, so who fucking cares?
Three wrongs.
A woman known as Diana the Game who was found in Set 5, Episode 20. I'm not saying you fucks look that up. Explaining that she was not informed of footage to be used to promote the video game. At the time the footage was recorded, she was only 17 years old, making her underage. Don't look it up. Yes, this topic's still going around. I'm sorry. But yeah. So eventually, after that lawsuit, the game was pulled. They did release a DVD of the Guy game, which did not include her, but included everything else. So there's a DVD out there, folks. If you want to,
If you want to torture yourselves.
Yes, it was shit. Or we're gonna switch to we're moving on to the next question here. Well, how do you guys feel about the premise of a retrogression that occurs when soft or hard reboots tend to come out? So stuff like removing older elements of gameplay, try to go in a different direction. There are some games where I'm totally fine with that. There's some games where
for the story.
Yes, does work for the game. Titanfall 2, I love it, but I also hate the fact that I can't like mess with my Titans.
I wish that 2 wasn't canceled.
Let's not even talk about the new Prey. I don't have an hour. What do you guys think about it? There's some games where I like it, some games where I hate it. But,
basically, yeah.
Same. It really depends on the game, and sometimes it also depends on what you expect from the game. But it's hard to say.
All right. Next one, guys. All right. Crackdown 2 in general for that one.
Yeah, I just hate it. But it was more in reference to the next one that's going to come up.
Oh, okay. All right. So the next one, if you could name one video game genre that you could live without, which would it be? I could live without. I could go without most sports games.
Yeah, sports games are kind of meh. There's like only 1 or 2 I like.
If I'm hammered, I could play a FIFA game.
What kind of sports games? Because if we're talking
that's the question.
Sports
and
games.
soccer and stuff like that.
I consider racing its own separate thing, and I consider stuff like WWE its own separate thing too.
Yeah, I just wanted to say because I like fantasy sport games. For example, Blood Bowl. That's technically football, but with orcs, so I like it.
Yeah,
I'd say
that's
okay. Simulation where the Madden.
All right.
Stuff
yeah,
like
then
that.
it's the same for me. Sports simulations. I mean, the odd WWE game, but nothing else basically.
I could go for a FIFA or Madden game if I'm like really hammered, but everything else it's like yeah.
Yeah, I'm on that train as well. Like my rule is that if I can do it in real life, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not going to play the game.
Yeah.
However, I think last year I bought a Madden game. I think I bought Madden 15 because it was like £15 on the Xbox. It's like, yeah, I may as well get this game because I was like, you know what? I want a sports game and put myself in there and be badass. And I only ever play quick play every once in a while, and I get super hyped when I play, and then I don't play it again for another about a month or so.
Yeah, I can understand that.
If you die in the game, you die. If you die in the game, you die in real life.
And then for the final trivia question here, how do you guys feel about port beggars? Those who count create thousands of petitions just to get games on like the PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch.
Just tell the companies you want it and just fucking wait. Don't reply to them like every single goddamn time they post something, because that shit gets annoying for the PR people working. They're just
I'm fine with the petition thing. Like if you want to write a petition for something, that's fine.
Or you just want to email, or you want to email the dev saying, "Hey, we want this," or like during a screen that say, "Hey, what do you like?" If a developer or like a publisher saying, "Hey, do we want? Would you like? We're listening. What do you guys want?" And then they'll say, "Hey, we want blank." And then they're like, "You know what? We'll take that into consideration or whatever." Like they won't say that, but they are like, people don't think that the developers and publishers are listening, but
they are.
They really are. Most of the time, they really are.
EA, where they don't, but.
Just don't ask Hideki Kamiya to port Bayonetta 2 over to anywhere else. They'll just block you.
That ain't happening.
Also, I kind of think most. Yeah. I think most video game developers also have some kind of PR person that is aware which markets it would be good to port games to.
Yeah.
At least I would think that they have these kind of people, so you don't need to tell them to which console they need to port stuff. But in the end, these petitions, they don't hurt anybody, so I don't really care.
No.
Gonna be real, I think the worst are like the fucking people, like not port beggars, but like, well, kind of yes, but like I think the worst port beggars that goes on for like years and shit are like the people who asking to port Jet Set Radio Future onto the fucking current gen consoles. It's just like,
I want that.
I want that, but like people say, like I see like people asking for it every fucking day, and I'm just like, Sega probably wants it too, but there's also like 50 goddamn songs they got to license, and they also got to worry about who to ask to port the game, and if permission for Xbox and all that shit. So,
I have a feeling that the odds of it going backwards compatible, because there is original Xbox One backwards compatibility now. The odds of that happening is a lot higher than seeing a remaster.
Yeah.
And you see people get like really nutty about that one, and I love the game. I do. It's fantastic. It is better than Jet Set Radio, which is weird to say because it's fucking great too. But like he takes everything from there and improves it. I wouldn't mind seeing that next gen, but I mean, hell, if that gets ported backwards compatible, I will fucking come in my pants.
Can we just take a bit of a second to talk about the Switch port beggars too?
They're getting a little bit as bad as the PC beggars from years ago, but I can kind of understand it because it's the closest Nintendo's ever had to a current gen, like a modern console.
I mean, I can see where they're trying to come from. Yes, more games on the Switch would, of course, be a great thing, especially for some people that could say only afford a Switch because money is a thing. But here's the problem, people. The Switch, you should know from Nintendo, has very different specs compared to, everything else. So some devs kind of have to work around things, especially if they want to optimize it correctly so that it actually runs well, rather than just being some sort of a half-assed 10 frames per second port like a certain, shit shooter out there, but that's beside the point.
Wait, Doom shit or I'm confused.
No, I'm talking how PUBG ran at like 10 frames on Xbox because it's a little garbage.
Well, to be fair, getting that fucking game at like 10 frames in general is impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, people, if you want games on Switch, fine, but don't be assholes about it, because if anything, they might just fight you by not making it.
I'd say play the waiting game. Like, nobody expected Doom on Switch. That was
That shocked the fuck out of me. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, wait, what the fuck? How?
And admittedly, it is an impressive port, even though it does run at 30 frames. But I'll say this. Nintendo, they're at a good, people that want to port to Nintendo are at a good advantage right now because it is getting a lot of traction.
Oh, it's freaking popular as hell.
Yeah, and right now it's smart to just wait it out and see what's getting ported because there's so many fucking indie games that are getting announced every single day.
Oh, the indie scene on Switch is insane.
This is what the Vita wanted to be before Sony brutally fucking murdered it.
At least in America. In Japan, it at least still has some traction, but here in America, it's just like, oh, it's a mere pebble on the ground.
Yeah, which it's such a shame. But I do see the Switch as the second coming of the old school, like what I expected from a Vita.
And hey, the Switch is portable too, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and I like the all right. I didn't buy a Wii U because I saw the writing on the wall from the launch month. I was like, oh, this isn't going to do well. But the thing about the Switch I like is, if I want to just use it as a home console, that's perfectly fucking valid too. But I can take it on the go with me. I can use a normal controller because I'm admittedly not a fan of the Joy-Cons.
I'm not either. I got big hands.
Yeah, the Pro Controller is actually really nice, and they use the Xbox layout, so I'm like, thank fuck. But I think Nintendo, it's not as fast. It's not as fast of a seller as the Wii was, but it's already fucking killed the Wii U in total sales.
And not only that, it's also thankfully had much better marketing.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah,
thank God.
The name of a Wii U should have been shot.
Well, I think whoever was marketing during the Wii U, actually, I think they got laid off and they replaced it with someone else, from what I heard.
Yeah.
And
Wii U marketing was fucking terrible.
Yeah, and it shows. It really shows. They just skip the stupid bullshit and just get straight to why you should buy this.
Yeah.
And they also did make that great Mario Odyssey commercial, so hey, they at least learned something.
Yeah.
I do think it was smart to put, the brand new Zelda on this console because it made sense to launch with such a game like that because that sold me on the console.
Oh, that was quite the launch title.
Like there was nothing else launch wise, but I bought the Switch because I'm like, hell, I want to play that Zelda game so bad. I'll fucking pay $300 just for a console for that.
Yeah, I thought that was mostly the focus of the launch. Is like, hey, you want the new Zelda game and you want a new console? Here you go.
Yeah, which you have to think about it like this: we're almost about to the year mark,
and it still prints money.
Yeah, fucking Super Mario Odyssey sold 9 million, the best exclusive sales wise of any of the consoles. It was fucking impressive. And very impressive. I'm interested to see, but yeah, the port begging, it kind of needs to stop a little bit.
I mean, y'all get Naruto though.
Maybe we don't talk about Naruto. All right, so let's wrap it up, people. We're getting right at the end here. All right, so I've been Bane for you. I have a different YouTube and everything now. If you want to find me on Twitch, this is the easiest place to do it. Is twitch.com/FUZHOUYT. So I thought I'd actually still be doing shit on YouTube. I'll be streaming a lot more on there over the next few months. So yeah. Inferno Dragon, where can we find you at?
You can find me at Inferno Dragon 3D on Twitter and on YouTube and Twitch at Inferno Dragon 343.
Mr. Shadow Pyro, where can we find you at?
I'm just highly impressed with how he said that. I'm gonna go follow him right now. That was that was nice. Smooth.
Okay.
You can find me on Instagram, DS Pyro, Twitter DS Shadow Pyro. I got the new thing. Well, I say new Vero. I have no idea how to use it, but I got it at it's DS Pyro again, and my YouTube is DS space Pyro, not the word space, but there's actual gap in between the DS and the Pyro.
Okay. Shadow 1990. How you doing, buddy? Where can we find you at?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube as Shadow 1990CH.
All right. And Mr. Sonic Kick, where can we find you at?
My dorm in Louisiana.
That's not what I was looking for, but
Okay, I got you. Sonic Kick on YouTube, at Sonic Kick with an underscore on Twitter. Everywhere else, almost everywhere else, it's just Sonic Kick. So yeah.
All right. So that's this has been episode 6 of the Infinite Ammo Podcast, Europe edition, and we will see you hopefully very soon. Have a good night, y'all.
Peace.
Bye bye.